Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. If you play support in competitive ranked mode for Overwatch, I've got a tiny bit of good news for you. Blizzard has finally responded to the problems surrounding support characters in the ranked mode. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, way back at the beginning of Season 1, it was discovered that for some reason, support characters were not getting as many points after a win as a damage-dealing character would. And for losses, the support characters were losing more points than a damage-dealing character would. People decided to test this by running through all the placement matches in full 6-man groups. At the end, the damage-dealing players would end up at a higher rank than the supports. And then after the placements, they would continue to play together, and the damage-dealing players would climb in rank much faster than the supports, to the point where the difference between the damage-dealing rank and the support rank was 10 or more points. And these players had played all of the same games, exactly the same, win and lose, and yet there was a huge difference in the ranks between the damage dealers and the supports. So all through Season 1, to my knowledge, Blizzard not once responded to player concerns about this issue. So when Season 2 was placed on the PTR, players began conducting experiments in 6-man groups to see if it was still a problem. And I don't need to go into the whole thing. Force Gaming actually made a really good video about it. I'm going to put a link to his video in the description of this one so you can go and check out all of the information. But basically, all of the experiments that players were conducting on the PTR for Season 2 of Ranked Mode showed that, yes, supports are getting the short end of the stick. When it comes to the Ranked Mode, supports will get less points per win than a DPS, and they will lose more points for a loss than a DPS player. Looking back at the results from Season 1, it's also pretty obvious to see. Out of the top 100 ranked players, only 4 of them are supports. And it makes you wonder, if the top 100 are damage dealers, where are the supports in those games? Don't tell me that there are no supports in those games. It's just ridiculous. But finally, Blizzard responds, and this is what Jeff Kaplan said on the official Blizzard forums just yesterday. We're pulling the data right now to check on how each hero and each role is performing when it comes to placement matches. We're actively doing some analysis on this right now. I know you're looking for a list of immediate actions we're going to take, but I don't have that for you right now. We're in the analysis stage at this point. It's harder for us to get good data on the PTR, so we want to be careful before leaping to conclusions. So after the entire first season has gone by, Blizzard finally responds to this issue. And it's great that they're finally looking at it, but from the sounds of it, they're probably not going to be fixing it anytime soon. They're still collecting data. They said that the PTR isn't really giving them the amount of data that they're going to need. So what's probably going to end up happening is all of this stuff, all of these problems surrounding the support characters are going to be in Season 2. And if there is a fix that comes around, it's probably not going to be until somewhere halfway through Season 2. After all the information that we've gathered from players, it is very clear that there is definitely a problem with the way that Blizzard is handling the whole point system for supports. Now, we may not know the exact reason, but there is undoubtedly a problem with support characters in competitive ranked. So it's good that Blizzard is finally looking into it. I completely stopped playing supports because it just didn't seem worth it to me. If I was in a ranked match and we won, I would get less points than had I played a Soldier 76 or a McCree. And if we did lose, I was going to lose more. Supports and healers always tend to be extremely underrepresented in any class-based game that requires them. Perfect example, World of Warcraft. If you queue up as a damage dealer, you're probably going to have to wait a little while because there's a ton of damage dealers out there. But if you queue up as a tank or a healer, your queue time is probably going to be instant. Same thing for Overwatch, except you don't have to worry necessarily about a queue time, but everybody in the game wants to play the damage dealer. They want to get the multi-kills and have the high scores and all the flashy play of the games and that sort of stuff. So getting people to play support can be a bit of a challenge. When you have a system in place that is detrimental, de-incentivizing people to play the support, that causes a pretty big problem. It's already a very underrepresented group of players, and if you're making it a punishment, then it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even smaller amount of people who want to play that. So even if it's broken right now, they're finally looking into it, and hopefully sooner rather than later, there will be some sort of fix or correction in the way that they handled the point system for supports. But that's going to be it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you're new, because there's lots more Overwatch on the channel. Remember, always, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.